Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Steve from UCAN English Tutoring. In this video, I'm going to assess one of my students' OET role play conversation. The student is a doctor and this is going to be the role play card for this particular conversation. So the role play is going to happen in a suburban medical clinic, and this is the background information of the patient. The patient is a 45-year-old office worker who presents complaining of tiredness and feeling unwell. The patient appears to be overweight and thinks he or she may have diabetes. He or she has a busy office job, 3 teenage children, and a spouse, and says he or she has no time to exercise. So, this is the patient's background information. Let's start the task. So, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet points which we have to cover within the 5-minute role play conversation. The first one is find out about the patient's symptoms and concerns, and then explore the patient's lifestyle, example, exercise, work-life balance, etc. And then discuss the possible significance of symptoms, unbalanced lifestyle, possible underlying condition, example, diabetes. Reassure the patient about his or her symptoms, I mean, different possible causes. Diabetes is only one of them, it can be managed, etc. Briefly explain diabetes. I mean, insulin not produced, type 1, or not sufficient or effective, type 2. Sugar not cleared from blood, etc. And how it can be managed. In bracket, we have got medication, diet, exercises, monitoring of blood glucose, etc. Outline next steps, that is diagnostic blood test, return visit for results, consequent assessment of the patient's health and lifestyle. So these are the bullet points we have to cover in the 5-minute role play conversation. And let's see what this student has done. I'm going to start assessing the role play conversation word by word and then provide you the feedback along with the assessment against each criteria and finally the score. Let's start now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lavanya. I'm one of the doctors working in this medical facility. I'm going to take care of you today. Before we proceed, may I know your name, please?
Oh, thank you, doctor. My name is Jay.
Oh, thank you, Mr. J. How can I help you today?
Doctor, for last couple of weeks, I'm feeling tired and kind of not able to concentrate in my work, and I feel dizzy. That's the reason that it leads me to you, actually. So those are the issues which I feel. This is happening for, I would say, last mostly a month, I would say.
Can you tell me a bit more about your symptoms?
Well, when you listen to the patient's concerns, it is a good practice to acknowledge them and show sympathy. For example, when you listen to the patients, who is suffering from maybe some kinds of symptoms, let's say the tiredness and feeling unwell and so on, it's good. It's good to say, "Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. I can understand how difficult it is to manage these conditions," or so on. So you have to use those kinds of sympathetic phrases when you hear the negative things from a patient. I mean, compliance or concerns and so on. Okay. So you should use sympathetic phrases to acknowledge patient's concerns and problems and show kindness to him or her. So you have to use some kinds of sympathetic phrases. You need to show sympathy towards the patient or the interlocutor anyway. So you should have done that. Apart from that, your introduction has been so good. I'm very happy with that. You need to understand one thing, that this conversation is not going to happen in a general setting. It's going to be in a healthcare setting, which means showing sympathy and care towards the patient is critical as far as the medical provision is concerned. Is that clear with you, Lavanya? Okay, let's continue now.
I'm feeling, I'm not able to concentrate at my work. I'm feeling thirsty not able to do any workouts, feel breathless.
Okay.
I have some itchy skin.
Oh.
So I don't know what exactly. And I also saw, yeah. Go ahead now. Sorry.
Okay. So,
Okay, one of the good things you have got is you were listening to the patient. Okay, you were listening to the patient. You were listening to the patient politely and saying phrases such as to show your active listening. This is a great skill, that you have, and I'm very happy with that. This can definitely show the patient that you are actively listening to them. You are trying to help them out. All right. And this is one of the best things you are doing in your role play conversation so far. And I'm quite happy with that. Let's continue further.
if you don't mind, can I ask you about your personal life?
Sure.
Okay. Can you tell me the nature of your job and how are you able to balance between your work and your family life?
Well, it is better to use rather than using can. You can use could you please, okay, instead of saying can you tell me about your personal life. Let's say instead of that, it's better to use could you please tell me. Okay, could you please tell me about your personal life. Okay, this is going to be more appropriate, because if you use could you please, it means you are very polite. You are trying to politely ask the information from the patient, which is really critical. We need to understand that the patient needs to be valued, and the patient feels that he or she is valued by the healthcare professional as well. As a result, using more and more polite phrases can help you out a lot. If you have started, for example, can, it is okay. Please add please at the end of the question. Say, for example, instead of just asking, can you tell me about your personal life, you can say, can you please tell me? Or you can say, can you tell me about your personal life, please? So you can add please either here or in the end of this question. Is that clear with you, Lavanya? Okay, let's go ahead with that. These are the small things, that can make a huge difference to your score. Let's continue now.
I work for an IT company, so most of my work is a desk job, so that doesn't use me any kind of exercise, I would say.
Okay.
But even with that one, I feel tired at the end of. And I'm 45 years old, and have 2 kids and a family. Yeah, so all the other things with respect to the kids and the family, those also not able to take care of everything actually.
Okay, so do you do some exercise or go for any outdoor game?
Well, some kinds of background noises were noted. Background noises such as need to be avoided. You haven't committed, the last one, but you have committed and a couple of times. That could have been avoided, okay, because they can also drag your score to some extent, okay, if they are committed in huge quantity. All right, let's continue now.
Games or any exercise?
I don't get it to do it every day, but just occasionally does that once a week kind of thing. Okay. Maybe jogging or something. Those are the things which I do it.
Okay.
But it's occasional, not a regular thing, I would say.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you for sharing those information with me. Is there anything else you would like to add?
That's a great way of encouraging the patients to share more and more information. Okay, sometimes the patient might have missed some information, so it's better to ask, is there anything else to add? Okay, that's a great way. I'm very happy with that. Okay, so that's good. So you were able to encourage the patient to share more information. So that's really good. I'm very happy with that. This is one of the qualities everyone needs to have, whoever is aiming at B grade plus. Okay. All right, let's continue now.
I would like to, even I saw some of those, what are the symptoms? Why I'm not able to understand why suddenly I'm having those things when I was able to do all my exercise or workouts, where I didn't feel tiredness, but why this is happening up for the last 1 month? Those are the concerns for me actually.
Okay, I understand your concerns. We are here to help you out. Fine. So, would you like to add on?
Well, here you have committed background noises as well as false starts, mostly false starts. You said, do you, and then would you, and so on. So this is not good, okay? This is what we call false starts. False starts need to be avoided. So you start a sentence or a question with some phrases, but you're not comfortable with them or you're not happy with them. And you go back to the beginning and then you start with maybe different phrases. For example, here you started with do you, and then you're not happy with it. Then you started by using would you like to and blah, blah, blah. And this is not good. False starts need to be avoided as much as possible, please.
Anything else or?
No, I think this is all my concern. I'm okay. Even with my sleep also, I don't feel I'm getting a sound sleep. That's what I want to add. Other than that one, I'm good.
Okay, fine. We need to know this. Tiredness can be a symptom of, even it's a normal symptom of.
Okay. Yeah, again, so tiredness is a symptom of and then you say you again stated the same thing. For example, tiredness is a normal symptom of, okay, and that's not good. So this is what we call false starts. Again, false starts can be initiated in the beginning of a sentence, or it could be in the end of a sentence. I mean, you might have started a sentence, okay, for example, until here, all right, but in the end of the sentence, before you complete the sentence, okay, you jump once again from the beginning and then you start from the same thing once again, and that's not good. This is not good. False starts need to be avoided. It is a must to be avoided, please. Otherwise, try to commit as less as possible, okay? I mean, throughout the role play conversation, you may commit maybe 1 or 2. That's it, not more than that. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead with the next one.
Because of your lack of physical activity. However, we need to do some investigations to rule out any other conditions like anemia or diabetes or any other major conditions. Am I clear?
Yeah.
It's good to get the confirmation from the patient, whenever you share any important information, and you have been doing a wonderful job in that. So I'm quite happy with that. So you were able to confirm the understanding of the patient. So that's really good. I'm quite happy with that. You're able to confirm whether the patient understood what you have conveyed just now, and you did a good job.
Yeah. So are you aware?
So you started saying so those things are background noises plus false starts. These two things need to be avoided, unfortunately. Okay, let's continue.
Diabetes.
My mother is a diabetic, so I think diabetic runs in my family.
Okay.
And aware of it actually.
Okay, fine. Fine. Let me briefly explain you about diabetes. Like the diabetes is a condition wherein your blood.
You don't need to add like here. It is unnecessarily added. Okay, please remove this. It's not needed. Okay. All right, let's go ahead with the next one.
Sugar levels are high, and normally the blood sugar levels are controlled by a hormone called insulin. In patients with diabetes, this insulin is either not produced at all, or it may be produced in a less amount, so the blood sugar levels shoot up. Am I clear till now?
Yeah.
Instead of saying am I clear again and again, it's better to use something else. I mean, there is a wide variety of phrases, isn't it? So instead of saying am I clear now, you can say are you following me? All right, for example, use a wide variety of phrases, please. A variety of phrases instead of repeating this again and again. Okay. So how can we repeat sorry, how can we avoid repeating the phrase again and again? It's very simple. When you make notes, try to write down if this is your problem area. I mean, one of your problems is that you are repeating these kinds of questions quite often in your role play. How can you avoid this? You can write down a wide variety of questions, to confirm the information with the patient on your paper itself when you get the 3-minute preparation time, so that you can utilize them exchangeably. All right, instead of using the one, you can use maybe the other one, and then maybe after some time you can use the third one and fourth one and so on. Okay, I hope you understand what I mean. Anyway, let's continue now.
So not that everyone who has this tiredness will have diabetes, but since you have other risk factors, say there is a family history of diabetes, and
say you are there is a, okay, so say you are there is a, all right, unfortunately here you got false starts, and that's not good. Let's continue now.
You seem to be overweight, and there's lack of physical activity, and you're having a very busy and stressful life. So all this may attribute to diabetes also. However, we need to do some blood test first to rule out diabetes. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So even if it is going to be diabetes, don't panic. We have a lot of treatment options available for.
Unfortunately, 5 minutes are over. In the actual OET speaking role play conversation, managing the time is super critical. You cannot miss more than one bullet point. Even missing one bullet point is acceptable only when you were addressing the concerns of the patient and you are talking only the relevant things, during the 5-minute time. Please understand this and try to cover all the bullet points of the role play conversation. It is a must. Okay, it's going to be of great help for you. Okay, so your time management was poor. It wasn't really good. Okay, all right, let's go through the assessment. Okay, what are the areas you need to improve and what are the areas you are strong enough? Let's say grammar. Grammar is up to the mark, although you have completed some kinds of background noises and false starts. It's not that bad actually. Most of them are coming under the false starts and the background noises. However, grammar is up to the mark. You didn't commit many mistakes under grammar, so I'm quite happy with that. The problem here is the false starts, background noises, and long hesitations. So long hesitations were committed very little. Okay, I mean, I think it was only 1 or 2. I'm not really bothered about long hesitations in your role play, but the false starts and the background noises were quite often committed. Okay, so they need to be avoided, please. Okay, let's go to the next one. Connectivity is not good at all. That is another area. Connectivity is another area of improvement. You need to improve your connectivity, the way you link the sentences together, the way you logically present your opinion, the way you logically explain, the concept is quite important as well, because it can help you to share the information with the patient very effectively, so that you can get really good score under sharing the information with the patient as well as under connectivity. I hope you understand this. Pronunciation needs to be improved a bit because of those hesitations, background noises, and false starts. Okay, those things are not that good. They can damage your score. All right, and time management is another issue. So time management is another concern. Okay, you have to complete all the bullet points within 5-minute time, and you should use the ideas appropriately. Okay, that's going to be of great help, if you can do that. And what else? Okay, vocabulary could be improved as well a bit, because you were using the same phrases again and again, so could be improved by using more synonyms. If you use more synonyms, you should be able to get good score under vocabulary as well. All bullet points need to be completed. That's going to be another area you have to focus on. And what else? Yeah, use a variety of sentence structures such as simple, complex, and compound. So that can be done. So you need to use a wide variety of sentence structures, please. Right. What else? I think, everything else is all right. It's not that bad. I'm quite happy with the way that you are progressing. However, let me go through the mistakes that you have committed, and then I will provide you the expected score. Let's see the severity of the mistakes, okay, on your score. And then the other areas. Under clinical communication skills, you may be unable to score well because you are not showing enough sympathy to the patient. Whenever the patient shares with you the concerns, it is super important to showcase sympathy, okay, by using some kinds of phrases. For example, I apologize to hear that. I'm really sorry to hear that. I can sense how anxious you are, blah blah blah. So those kinds of phrases need to be used. For the people who join my courses, they will be able to receive more than 100 phrases under each criteria so that they can use all of them without repeating them. That's going to help them a lot. Okay. You are able to listen to the patient politely, so that's a good thing, because being a speaker doesn't mean that you shouldn't be a good listener. Okay, being a good listener is the first criteria to be a good speaker. So that's a good thing, actually. So the patient may feel more comfortable when they talk to you. Okay, please use more polite phrases rather than the impolite phrases. And then yeah, there are a few things that you have been doing really very well. I'm quite happy with that. And you are able to confirm the understanding of the patient as well. So that's really good. I'm quite happy with that. Well, your overall score could be very close to 350, but unfortunately, I'm not fully convinced to give you 350 for this role play conversation because of some of these areas of improvement. I'm quite happy to give you 330 out of 500 for this role play, which is really close to 350. And it's what we call the B grade anyway. I'm pretty confident that if you are able to at least address some of these areas, it's going to help a lot. Another thing is to cover all the bullet points within the given time. Okay, that's going to be of great help. If you can plan your answer very well, you are going to be able to get really good score. If you would like to receive the free correction for your first letter and first role play, you can contact me on my mobile or WhatsApp number, that is +61 468 480 You can also contact me on my email address, that is steve@youcanenglishtutoring.com. I have got a Facebook as well as the website, and these are the things. So if you wish, you can also get in touch over there. If you like my Facebook page, you can definitely get more and more updates on the new exam papers as well as the sample answers and so on. I have been transforming the lives of more than 13,000 students until now from 2008. And thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.